Welcome to CCAR, the Hartford Recovery Community Center. My name is Laurie and by the grace of God, I'm in recovery, sustained recovery, which means I haven't had to have a drink or a drug in over 6 years.
Wow.
I started with the organization as a volunteer, counting t-shirts for the recovery walk, and slowly and surely I worked my way up. Today I manage the Hartford Center. I oversee the activities and the programming. Some of the program is especially designed for the people in the Hartford area. You know, like GED, we do crafts, we do social events, more geared to what the community here wants. And then we have some standard training that runs throughout all the 4 centers.
Okay.
The telephone recovery support, the computer training, and things of that nature. Our standard volunteer core training.
Okay.
That's about it.
GED. What does GED mean?
Oh, that is for your high school diploma.
Oh, I see.
For people, it's another way of getting your general education diploma.
Okay. And what do you offer here that AA doesn't offer, for example?
Oh my, well, we offer one-on-one recovery coaching, which is someone who is not a sponsor or a case manager, but someone to meet you where you're at in your recovery today and help you move forward, you know, like a mentor. We offer peer support meetings for anybody in recovery from anything, especially alcohol and other drug addiction, but even if you're on methadone or you're a family member and you want to come and give support, be supported, then this is a place for you to come. Many of the people who attend our all recovery meetings are members of other 12-step groups, but they find additional support here. We offer a volunteer program where it's run much like that of a hospital, where you have an application, an orientation, 6 hours of training just to get started, 4-hour volunteer orientation, 2-hour ambassador training, so that you'll understand the history of the program. We offer peer facilitation, so if you want to facilitate a group, you can learn how. If you want to engage some type of a program, be it crafts, yoga, art, and you have a background in that and you want to bring it to the table, then, you know, we help you initiate that. We have some grant writing opportunities, and as I speak, there are some small mini grants out with a $2,000 cap, and it's in the community for the people in recovery from mental health and or addiction to come up with the idea, and CCAR would be the fiduciary for that grant. And we've done many wonderful things, such as women's retreats, men's retreats, wellness day, a trip to the Bill Wilson House in Vermont, East Dorset, Vermont, and some new ideas on the table. We have a recovery bookstore, which I can show you, and that's it in a nutshell. Well, I am the first to tell you, Winifred, that there's no coincidence that you took your trip to the States, to Connecticut, during National Recovery Month from alcohol and other drug addiction.
Fantastic.
So
what does that involve?
Well, it's just a national awareness that recovery is possible from alcohol and other drugs. And the fact that you took a trip during that time, I believe there's no coincidence. And all across the country, other agencies like ours are setting up walks and recovery focused positive awareness events to let the community know that recovery is alive and well. So congratulations.
I think what I'm looking for here, more than anything really, is...
in jail.
Right.
And he called me from his counselor's office.
Yeah.
And said, just that, I'm getting out in 3 weeks and I need to know where I can go.
Yeah.
So he's having me call his counselor back because they don't get enough time or enough support in prison either to get the help they need.
Right.
And I'm supposed to find him some housing on the database. Now they've changed things a little bit. I don't even think I have to use a password to get in. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna look for this gentleman asked for Hartford,
Right.
but he specified he didn't want it to be a certain provider. He already is familiar with the system. And so I'm supposed to look in here as soon as it comes up. And then he wants a house for men. And they didn't indicate funding. So I'm just going to have it show me all. Let's see. So he doesn't want this provider. And I don't know why. He probably stayed there already.
Right.
So, and that's one of the reasons they set up a coalition, and so that if I own a house and you own a house, and he's not paid the rent with me, and then tries to come to your house, I could warn you. But we're not trying to make his recovery impossible, but these guys have to protect themselves. The real reason for this coalition and for this site is to help people. So I would have to give him this house, this house, this house, and that one, Newington. And so he has quite a few options. And see, it says coalition member, not a coalition member. But that just means that these people have all agreed to the same standards.
I see.
You know.
So you're the connect really between. So who set it up? Whose idea was it to set up this coalition?
C-Cars.
Yes, it was.
It was my agency, C-Car, yeah. And when it first was designed, in my position at the time, I was allowed to go out and see each of the houses. And I'll tell you, I was truly amazed at the commitment of the owners and the managers, because they're already going above and beyond the call of duty.
How does that happen? How have they
It's
succeeded?
their passion.
Yeah, how have they persuaded these people to become passionate about recovery?
Because they received recovery. It was passed on to them. You know, you can't keep it unless you give it away. And so that's, in essence, what's happening here. And these people will take you into their home, sometimes rent, sometimes they'll wait because they know you don't have a job. They'll tell you how to get around the system, how to get around the neighborhood, how to find the food bank, the doctors, you know, and really give you a shot at recovery wherever else you would fail because you've burned all your bridges. It's just truly amazing.
Do you get people who are not in recovery joining the coalition?
Well, sure, these people may not all be in recovery. That's a good question, yeah. However, I would have to say probably to direct you to the gentleman that oversees the site right now. Have you met Curtis? Yeah. I'm going to take down the phone number of this site and call the prison back and give the counselor Pierce this phone number for his client to call who gets out of prison in 3 weeks. And I'll tell him that, you know, it's in Manchester and that the phone number and that there seems to be 4 beds available and what the cost is. They're looking for $125 up front and $125 a week. And
So
that's,
where would he find that money?
I'm not sure. That always remains a question. He could be eligible for some funding from the federal government, perhaps the state government, or his family.
And if he can't find the funding, then
Then it's up to the owner to take a chance on letting him in and letting him find employment.
does that happen?
Yes, it does from time to time. Yep.
Quite an act of faith.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know, you have to take a leap of faith in recovery.